Hey YouTube, welcome to Walk in Faith. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for tuning in. So in today's video, I'm going to give you guys 7 tips on how to accomplish your goals. And make sure you stick around for all 7 because they're very useful. But I'm going to go ahead and get straight into it. So the first tip to accomplishing your goals is going to be to set some goals. Okay, so when you set goals, it gives yourself a vision on what you want to accomplish and what you're striving for. And without vision, you don't know what you're doing. So you have to write these goals down, take a mental note, and it helps you to get organized in your thought process so that you know what you need to do to carry out these goals. So it's really important for you to have a set of goals in mind, write them down as I said. And even if you don't know what your goals are, like you don't really have any guidance or wisdom on what you want to do, what you need to do, of course, take that up to God and ask Him to guide you in the areas of your life that you need wisdom and you need clarity. Because God knows what He put you here for. He knows the assignment that He gave you. So I would say to seek Him and make sure that you are in alignment to receiving God's answer. Because sometimes God will hold the answer back if you're not ready for it. Right? Like I remember asking God wisdom on what He wanted me to do because I was really confused. Like I didn't know what I was supposed to do with my life. It was a very depressing and dark time. I had no idea what my purpose was, what I was here for. But when I was asking Him, I wasn't in a place to receive it. Like I was worldly. I was doing what I wanted to do, just sending it up and just, not in alignment. So when you put your extracurricular activities away and you really get focused on God and seeking Him, then He will guide you and He'll lead you on the right path. So just make sure that you're in alignment and you're not off, doing everything else. Your attention is everywhere else and you're expecting God to speak to you. And even if He does speak to you, you're not really going to be able to hear Him because you're not focused, So get focused if you don't know what you want to do and keep seeking God. Keep seeking. He will answer you and guide you to where you need to be. And the second tip is going to be to make sure that your goals align with God's will. So you want to have goals that are righteous, goals that are helping other people. You don't want to pull people away from God. You don't want to pull people to sin or things that are going to make them, fall or have a setback, right? So you want to set goals that are going to help other people, push yourself closer to God, better yourself, So make sure that they're righteous because even though we make plans in our heart, God is going to order our steps. But you have to make sure that you include God in your goals so that He can order your steps. And the third tip is going to be to determine your why. So you have to find out what the reasoning behind your goals are anyway. So what are you doing this for? So you got to ask yourself why you are embarking on this journey. Why are you setting these goals? What do you want out of this? Right? So it's important for you to have the vision so that you can see the end of this thing. Like, what do you want to get out of doing whatever it is that you want to do? What do you want to become? Who do you want to become? What kind of people do you want to reach? So when you determine your why, it's going to keep you accountable and it's going to help you to continue to strive for these things even when hard times come, because your why gives your goals meaning. It gives it purpose. So you want to definitely make sure that you can hold on to the why even when things get a little shaky, because we always go through ups and downs, right? Not everything is going to be perfect. Sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you may have a setback. But when you hold on to the why, when you hold on to the meaning, the reason why you're doing this thing, that's going to give you that motivation to keep going despite anything that's happening, externally or internally. That why is going to keep you grounded. It's going to keep you focused. So make sure you determine the reasoning behind doing what you're about to do. And the fourth tip is going to be to eliminate distractions. Now, distractions could come in many different forms, as we know. It could be TV, it could be social media, it could be people, toxic people. And they don't necessarily always have to be toxic. Like, you could spend time talking too much on the phone to somebody or texting people too much, So when you set goals and when you're setting out to accomplish your goals, rather, you have to make sacrifices sometimes. So instead of you going to hang out with your friends, you could be working on your business, time is currency. Like, you know how they say time is money? You know, it costs you something to spend your time elsewhere. So be mindful of how you're spending your time when you're accomplishing your goals, because if you're, you know, wasting time being distracted, that's going to pull you away from progress, going to pull you away from, you know, getting to that end goal that you're looking for. So definitely make sure that you eliminate distractions so that you can stay focused, you can stay on point, and you can get closer and closer to accomplishing your goals. So the fifth tip is going to be to plan. Now, planning is very important because it helps you to stay organized, right? And it helps you to determine how you're going to carry out these different responsibilities. So when you're planning, you got to count the cost, right? What is it going to require of you to get to that next level? Like, what do you need to prepare for? Do you have to take certain courses? Do you have to research a certain topic? You know, do you have to change some behaviors about yourself? Do you have to cut out activities that you're used to doing? You know, what is it going to require for you to achieve these goals, to accomplish these goals? These are all things that you have to keep in mind, and be strategic about your thought process. So writing your goals down, writing your plans down, very important, so that you can look back, read it, and, you know, just stay on point in that area. And of course, allow God to order your steps. You know, so make sure that God is always included in your plans. You got to seek him for that wisdom and that guidance. But you also have to take it upon yourself to get organized and make sure that the things that you're doing align perfectly with your end goal. And the sixth tip is going to be to execute. So this is you just taking the leap of faith, stepping out and doing it. And even though you're supposed to plan, you're supposed to organize, you still don't have to have everything together before you start doing something, because that's where faith comes in, right? Even if you don't have all of the resources, you don't have all of the knowledge, all of the money, you know, whatever it is that you feel like you need to get started, you don't always need that, because God will work with the little bit that you do have and multiply it and multiply it and multiply it. So if you can just get started, just start moving, God is going to guide you one way or another. Like, even if you make a mistake, God will get you right back in line. Like, you know how a GPS, if you go off the route, they're still going to reroute you back to where you need to be, right? So if a GPS can do that, you know God is going to do that for you. But you have to get moving. You have to move. You have to get going. And don't rely so much on having everything at once, okay? Be able to manage the things that you do have. Like Dr. Miles Monroe had once said, God doesn't give you what you ask for, he gives you what you can manage. So if God sees that you can manage the little bit that you do have right now, he's going to bless you with more, you know? So get started, get going, and watch God work in your life. And the seventh and final tip is to stay consistent. So if you want to accomplish your goals, you have to keep going. Like, you can't give up as soon as things get hard. You can't give up when things start to slow down or you feel like you're not really getting anywhere. The point of accomplishing your goals is to keep moving step by step by step. So every step you take, the closer you're getting to that end goal. But you have to stay consistent. You know, don't move around so much. Like, you go to this job, you go to that job. You start one project and then you fall off, you start another project. You know, you want to stay focused. Have accountability partners if you need. You know, have people around you that help to motivate you and push you to keep going, even when you feel down. Because we all have those days, like we just feel like giving up. We feel like it's too hard, you know, it's too much for us. You know, seek for motivation. Always pray and ask God for strength, and also seek for motivation. Like, you can watch a lot of YouTube videos that will motivate you, or listen to motivational speakers, you know, listen to positive people in your life. Whatever it is that's going to help you to keep going, that's what you need to do. But consistency is very important, because things don't just happen overnight. Even though we're in this society where everything seems to be so quick, great things still take time. So if you just continue to do what you're doing and take it day by day, you'll see the progress in your life eventually. So those are 7 tips on how to accomplish your goals. Hopefully you were able to take something from this video, and if you were, please give it a like Also, feel free to subscribe if you are interested in my content and look forward to seeing more videos. But I thank you so much for listening. Know that God loves you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Be blessed.